And our resident Jets fan, Christina, are not the only believers. Jets are now favored in the AFC East. The odds drop the Bills.
This guy's unbelievable.
Jets are at 1, Buffalo's at 2, Miami's at 3, and then the drive for 5 Patriots. This on the heels of Predictions Week where, Brew, I think you had the Jets winning the AFC East. So what is your reaction, and should the Bills feel disrespected?
Well, the Bills have been favored to win the AFC East for most of the last few months.
Yeah.
It was just a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
When the Jets became favored.
Yesterday morning, I think.
Yes. Obviously, it leaked that I was picking the Jets. Yeah. Obviously. People
we've
read
got
between the lines. I'll give them credit, though. They could see me leaning toward picking the Jets the last few times I was here, which was a while ago.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
All right, so it leaked.
Archives.
And the Jets.
So you're moving the division winner
I'm moving
markets?
things.
You're
I
moving
guess
markets.
so. I guess
okay,
so.
that's
But
interesting.
The Jets should be favored. Okay. Now here's to answer your question: should the Bills feel disrespected? Look, if they want to make this a motivational tool, if they want to use this to motivate them, have at it, because they should. They should look at this as disrespect. Give them a little extra bulletin board material, okay? However, I don't think it's disrespectful. The Bills lost a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not just their top 2 receivers, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. They lost 5 of their 8 captains. They lost Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Tre'Davious White. There it is right there. Mitch Morse. Those are all captains. Leonard Floyd, obviously a good defensive player. Like, they lost a ton, and now you got Matt Milano again, who's injured and going to be out most of the season.
He was out, to be fair, he was out
last year, right.
season.
But he's a really good player.
No, he's an excellent player.
And without those guys, they may need more. Now, I do think their defense will be solid. I think disrespect would be if you pick them not to make the playoffs. But to pick them not to win the division, I don't think is disrespectful considering all they lost.
All right, so I think this is actual disrespect. And I think that Vegas is just so manic when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. They are either the Super Bowl co-favorites for no reason, or you know what? A team that has as many AFC East championships in the last quarter century as the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't played in the division in almost a quarter century, they're the favorites. I mean,
in fairness, they added Aaron Rodgers.
A team that is coached by a man who in his 3 years in the AFC East has won 4 divisional games, is going to win the division. Usually to win the division, you have to win 4 or 5 divisional games in a season. Bob Saleh is 4-14 in 3 years. 4,
and he went 2 last year.
And 2 the year before, and the 0 for 6 his first year. But again, it's never been his fault. The guy is it's not his fault.
You know that.
Listen, I know that for some reason, win-loss record matters for everyone except for the head coach, which oddly is the only person it actually really matters for. Yes, this is disrespectful. Favoring a team who has the same number of AFC East titles as the Houston Oilers have AFC East titles
who cares about
in their history to win the division over a team. The Buffalo Bills have won the AFC East as many times in the last 4 years as the Jets have won it in the Jets' history. The Jets aren't a new franchise.
That's not how it works.
What do you mean it's not how it works?
That's like me saying the Dallas Cowboys, because of their history, are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
No, it's not like that.
I mean,
but
really, you're talking about ancient. You act like the Jets didn't have a great quarterback.
It's almost like you saying the Dallas Cowboys in 2024 should have the Dallas Cowboys' lack of success the last 29 years held against them, which you say all the time.
No, they've won 12 games.
No, their postseason's lack of success.
When did that become
You use it all the time.
Later on in the show.
And so, yeah, the Bills have far and away the best quarterback in the division.
Okay.
The Bills have the history within the division, recent history of success. The Bills have done well against every team in this division, every coach in this division. Again, not exactly a well-known Buffalo Bills fan here, but I'm also honest and fair. The Bills' floor, think about it like this. What's the floor for Bills wins this year? If Josh Allen's healthy.
That's hilarious.
Josh Allen's healthy. What's their floor for wins?
9.
Yeah.
Their floor is 9, and I would say, I would have, right. What's the Jets, and I'll give Aaron Rodgers health. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, just guarantee quarterback health, what's their floor for wins?
Honestly, to me,
7.
8.
Okay, I would say it was
because if they won 7
year.
the last 2 years with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I know we always say that, but things change. Like I do think if I were the Bills, I would try to use this as a rallying cry.
Things change, yes, yet you want to ignore the fact that things changed positively for the New York Jets, and that's why using those last 3 years means nothing. Not to mention, he's saying that, Josh Allen is by far, the best quarterback and all of that. And yet he's now saying, before all last season, he said that the Bills only started winning when they asked Josh Allen to do less. Essentially saying that Josh Allen was the problem for the Buffalo Bills. So he can't make up his mind there. Listen. I will say this. I'm hesitant to phrase it this way, but I'll just kind of tackle it from both sides. The Buffalo Bills absolutely should not feel disrespected because even Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs were doubted all last season, right? A lot of people said that they're not going to win against the Miami Dolphins. A lot of people said they weren't going to beat the Bills. A lot of people said they weren't going to beat the Ravens, and they weren't going to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, right? It was either pundits or actual Vegas odds. And that wasn't disrespectful. It made sense. It's okay. Saying that you think someone has a better chance at winning, no matter how great they are, it's not disrespect. It's not doubt in the most slapping way. I mean, listen, 50% of sports is just saying, I don't think you're going to win, and then you proving me wrong. I mean, that's just what it is. That's how this thing works here. So you can say, yeah, you know what, I think the Jets are going to win the AFC East, and it's not disrespect. It wasn't disrespect against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to say, I think that the 49ers will win the Super Bowl. And that's how Vegas had it, right? They were favored by 1.5 or something, whatever it may be. It wasn't disrespectful. It proved to be very accurate, very close. A lot of things negatively had to have happened that had nothing to do with the Chiefs that led the 49ers to lose that game. Vegas had it right. You can make the argument for the Bills and the Ravens as well. That doesn't take away anything from Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, because they played their part in winning as well. Just like I believe that the Buffalo Bills played their part in losing. So it's just not disrespectful. But I will say that Nick at least is kind of being consistent, because he did say that it was disrespectful for the Chiefs, right? He kept carrying on and saying, this is hate, this is disrespectful, et cetera, et cetera. So he is being at least consistent in that regard. So I will give him credit for that. I will want to point that out, since I often point out his inconsistencies or his lack of consistency. So I will say that, but I just don't see it that way. I don't see it as disrespectful. If there's a lot of changes that are happening to the Bills right now. You saw all those pieces that they're losing. We don't know what the Buffalo Bills are going to look like. I'm not saying the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen won't be great. I made a few recent videos with regards to this, and a lot of Buffalo Bills fans are kind of hating on me, and it's well, just go back a little bit further, and you'll see all the Buffalo Bills videos that I've made where I've just sung the praises of Josh Allen. So this isn't me coming from a hater aspect, but it's just not disrespect. Just because you say that another team is going to beat another team doesn't mean that it's disrespect. It's just an opinion. It's just analysis. It's just, this is what I think will more likely happen. We're so quick to use these things as disrespect. And it's I don't know. I personally don't buy into it. I understand why those things are emphasized and inflated, and they want to try to use it as the bulletin board material. That's just not how I am personally. That's just not. That's not one of those motivating things. Doubt motivates me. When you doubt me, that will motivate me. When you say that I'm not good enough or that I'm not going to do something, that motivates me. That motivated me on the field and off the field. Although I've kind of gotten away from it. But even with this channel, when people tell me, that I'm bad, I'm this, I'll never be able to have a channel, I'm like, okay, I see you, random stranger who I know nothing about. I'm going to prove you wrong. I feel that. But I don't take it as disrespect. Because it's like, you don't know me. You don't know what I can achieve. That's where it changes for me. I had a coach one time where I wasn't getting the time that I thought I deserved on the field. He was a new coach. And I was really upset. And I probably didn't handle it the best way. And I was causing problems. And then eventually I was forced to play because of some injuries on the team. And I then clearly proved what I knew, that I should be out there all the time and should be playing. And then I became like the leader of that team. And at the end of the year, you know, because me and the coach ended up having a big problem originally. And then we got very close. And at the end of the year, when I really led that team to high levels of success, you know, when the season was over, you know, like we were thanking each other, and he gave a speech, and he singled me out and pointed me out and said, you know, I just really want to give it up to you. You were such a great player for this team, yada, yada, yada. And then I said, yeah, you know, then I apologized to him. I said, yeah, you know, I'm sorry things got off to such a rocky start. And he said to me, and I'll never forget, he goes, you knew how good you were, but I did not. And you needed to show it to me. And it was just like, yeah, that makes sense. It wasn't disrespect. He wasn't disrespecting me. I needed to show him just how good I was and why I was deserving to hold the role that I believed I was. He just did not know. So it wasn't disrespect just because he had an original feeling. If he saw me consistently play and just said, you're not good enough, then sure, maybe you could paint it that way. And that's where Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are right now. And that's where Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs were last year. So it's not disrespect. It's just, this is my opinion based off the information that I have. And if I'm wrong, show me that I'm wrong. And I'll be more than willing to change my opinion. That's just the way I see it, though. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this one. What do you guys all think? Do you think the Bills should feel disrespected? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.